Okay, good morning to all of you. Good afternoon, good evening, for whatever timeline you're in. This is your math teacher in Mathematics 7 teacher, Mr. Edmundo Pusto Jr. And I will be discussing quarter 2, module number 4, entitled Laws of Exponents, Multiplication, and Division of Polynomials. I'll be putting it by parts so that we can discuss it thoroughly by section. Okay, so to start with, I will have to present first our topic. Okay, so this is our topic for today, the laws of exponents. Okay, we will be discussing the laws of exponents for part 1. Okay, so what do we need to know for this module? In this module, learners build their skills and competencies in driving the laws of exponent, multiplying and dividing polynomials. After going to this module, you are expected to have mastery on the following objectives. Okay, so it's a to derive inductively the laws of exponents, so restricted to positive integers, and then we have to multiply and divide polynomials. Okay, this pre-test is already included in your Google Classroom. Okay, in your Google Classroom quiz number 4. Okay, on quizzes. Okay, so for you to be guided, I have Mathematics 7, Mr. Pusta FB group. Okay, you can actually join into that group. Okay, automatically you will be a member. Okay, to start with, okay, we have the introduction on the laws of exponents. Okay, having many friends brings happiness. Friends whom you can trust and whom you can lean on. Okay, the more friends you have, the happier and healthier your life is. If you are a good friend, your friends will also multiply and will grow exponentially. Unfortunately, due to our pandemic, okay, COVID-19 pandemic, we can no longer see our friends or colleagues, but this activity will help you acquire more friends. Okay, friends who will always be there for you, especially in this time of the pandemic. Now, according to this module, we have this activity, what's in. So, in activity number 1, we have the concept mapping and directions. Complete the concept map below. So, this activity illustrates the triangle method used by KKK. What is KKK? Nakataas-taasan, kagalang-galangan, katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan. That is history. Also known as simply as katipunan. Okay, in acquiring members who made their organization grow, Andres Bonifacio, Ladislao Diwa, and Teodoro Plata composed the first triangle. So this is the first triangle. Who are the first members of the katipunan or the katipuneros? So we have the first one, the first leader, of course. We have Andres. Okay, Andres Bonifacio. Okay, and then from our left we have Teodoro Plata. Yeah, Teodoro. Okay, Plata. And then we have Ladislao. Okay, Ladislao Diwa. Okay. Okay, so to pump things up, okay, the name of this friend not known to A and C. So we have Teodoro Plata. Okay, I'll write a name here just for my friends. Ito yung aking mga kababata. Since cousins. Mga cousin ko. So let's say this one is JR. Yan. I have a cousin. His name is JR. Yes. And then another one is Jeff. Yeah, Jeff. Cousin Jeff. Jeff and JR. Okay, how about this one? I have classmates, elementary classmates. Let's say we have Ryan. Okay, he's my cousin and also my classmate. How about Aya? Aya Sap. Aya. Okay. So for this one, this will be high school friends. So let's say I have Topper. Topper and then Mike. Okay. And then I have here another Rai. Okay. It's also Ryan, so I'll just shift it to Rai. And then we have Mako. Ayan. Okay. So these are network of my friends. These are the network of my friends. So as you can see, this network illustrates what? Okay? Illustrates, okay, a exponential, what we call exponential growth. Exponential growth. Okay? Pagdami, no? Pagdami ng aking mga kaibigan as the years gone by. Okay? So I have here, if I am Andres Bonifacio, I have two friends, Eudoro and Ladislao. Okay, I have these friends and these friends that I have, they're gonna be having friends on their own. Okay? So this signifies exponential growth. Okay? Which also what is happening right now, no? Yung pagkalat ng virus, which is the pandemic. Okay? So that is how exponential growth is described here. And let's continue. To continue, we have exponential notation, or we have here the meaning of exponential notation or this expression. Okay? Exponential expression or notation is a shorthand way to show how many times a number is called the base is to be multiplied to itself. Okay, so instead of writing it this way, that way, you're going to write it this way, in this manner. Okay, so a number with an exponent is called to be raised to the power of, okay, of that extent as illustrated. So we have a raised to m. We read this symbol as a raised to m, which means that where a is the base, this one is the base, yan, and m is the exponent. Sometimes they call exponent as index, no? Index. Pag marami, we have indices. Okay? Pag marami. Okay, plural form of indices. Another term for exponent is index or indices. Okay? So, this one is, let me have another example, a number constant raised to a 4. So, 2 here, we call that as the base. The 4 here is what we call the exponent. Okay? This symbol signifies that you're going to multiply 2, okay, to itself 4 times. Okay? And the answer for that, 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. We call this one as power. Okay? So let us continue. Okay, so we have here the topic, the laws of exponent. Okay? The laws of exponent is our topic. Okay, the first law, let's have law number 1, is the product law. When multiplying powers with the same base, you copy the base, then add the exponent. So if we have a raised to m times a raised to m, we have a raised to 2m. Or simply, to illustrate, a squared times a cubed is equal to a raised to 2 plus 3. Provided that the base are the same. Okay? So it should be the base that are the same. Since the base are the same, you can add the exponent. So this will be the answer. 2 plus 3 is 5, so we have a raised to 5. Now, simply put, no, sa Tagalog, okay, kapag nakakita ka ng parehas na base, anong gagawin natin sa parehas na base? I-add, pag minultiply, okay, ang expression na ganyan, okay, you're going to add the exponents if they have the same base. Common mistakes, a squared plus a cubed, okay, is equal to a to the fifth. Okay, this is a common mistake. Okay. Why? Okay, because this is multiplication, which is the product law. Okay, only when we multiply, then we add the exponent. Okay, so we do not add the exponents when we add the numbers. So sabi na topic natin last week, okay, like terms, you can only add and subtract like terms. Now, when we're talking about exponents, laws of exponents, okay, we're not talking about like terms. Okay, so this one is in multiplication. Okay, so for the numbers, okay, 2 squared times 2 cubed is equal to 2 raised to 2 plus 3. Pwede rin tayong gumamit dito ng sample. 2 raised to 4 times 2 raised to 5 times 2 raised to 6. So what is 2 times 2 raised to 4 to the 6 to the 5th to the 6th? So we have 2 raised to 4 plus 5 plus 6, provided that you have the same base and it is in multiplication. The operation is multiplication only. Okay, so this becomes 2 raised to 4 plus 5 plus 6, 11. So 2 raised to 15. That is 2 raised to 15. Okay. Okay. So let us continue. Another law is what we call the quotient law. Okay. So when dividing the same base or copy the base, when dividing the same base, so kanina we have product law, you add the base. Now this one is quotient law, division. Okay, what we're going to do, they have the same base, you're going to subtract the exponents. So a raised to m over a raised to n is equal to a raised to m minus n, provided where a must not be equal to 0. Okay, this only signifies that if this one becomes 0, this term becomes 0, a becomes 0, the operation becomes undefined. So these are just the limitations on this law. So a should at least have positive, any number except 0. So a squared over a to the fifth divided by a squared, we can rewrite it this way. So that we know yung ginawa natin kanina sa product law. So sa product law, just for you to show, no, just to show to you, no. So this one sa product law, what will happen? This becomes a raised to 5 plus 2 or a raised to 7. Sa quotient law, we have a raised to 5 minus 2, which is equal to a raised to 3. This one. Okay? So you know yung parallel niya. Pagka multiplication, you add the exponent, but when you divide, you subtract the exponent. Another one, we have 4 raised to 5 over 4 raised to 2. 4 raised to 5 minus 2, or which is equal to 4 raised to 3, or 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. Okay, so the third law. So we have the second law, quotient law. The third law that we have here is the power of a power. Okay, the power of a power. So we have 8 raised to the power of m, and then that is also raised to another power n. So what we have here, if we have a power raised to another power, you're going to multiply. So when you have a raised to the squared, okay, this one raised to another number, this means that a squared times a squared times a squared. This is what it means. Okay? So therefore, if we're multiplying that, what will happen? We have a raised to 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is equal to a raised to 6. So simply, you're just going to multiply, no? Multiply the exponents. Okay? So 2 times 3. So that you're not going to do this anymore. Just multiply the exponent. So for instance, 2 raised to 2 times 3, we have 2 raised to 6. So 2 raised to 6 is equal to 64. Let me have another example. Okay. So what if we have, let's say, 3 raised to 2 raised to 2. Okay. So, or simply 3 squared raised to 2. So this means we have 3 squared times, that's where it's to show, 3 squared. Now, 3 squared times 3 squared, this one is 3 raised to 2 plus 2, which is 3 raised to 4. So what if I just multiplied it, no? 3 raised to 2 times 2, which is equal to 3 raised to 4. So we'll have the same answer. Okay? Just by multiplying that. So what is 3 raised to 4? 3 raised to 4 is 81. Both 81. Okay? What if you have x squared raised to 5 raised to 3? So what do we have? We have x raised to 2 times 5 times 3. So this is x raised to 2 times 5, 10 times 3. X raised to 30. Okay? So understand that. Next one. The fourth one, we have what we call the power of a product and or quotient law. Okay. So the thing that you're just going to memorize here is this this word, no, distribute. Okay, the distributive property. Okay, so let me execute this one. So we have a raised to m times b raised to n. Okay, and then we have x. So you're going to distribute x by multiplying. So what we have here kanina, okay, this is just one variable. Okay, so what about making it two variables, a and b, okay, with their own exponents? So we have a raised to m times x times b raised to n times x. Okay, the same with division. So we have a raised to m divided by a raised to n. What will happen? Okay, if they are raised to x, so you're just going to multiply. Okay, multiply. Okay, so what will happen? This becomes a raised to mx divided by b raised to nx. Multiplication of those exponents only. Okay, provided that b must not be equal to 0 for the division. So for example, let me have examples. Okay, let us discuss the examples written here. So we have a squared b cubed raised to 4. A squared b cubed raised to 4 multiply 2 times 4. We're just going to multiply 2 times 4. Okay, so we have a raised to 2 times 4 and then 3 times 4. Okay, b raised to 3 times 4. So what do we have? A raised to 2 times 4, 8. B raised to 12. This will be the final answer here. Okay, so what if we have a coefficient? So we have 4a cubed raised to 2. This one is power to a power. So what you're actually be doing, even the coefficient, you're going to multiply it. Okay, now what you have to remember, you multiply it here. Okay, what you have to remember is that any coefficient, whether literal coefficient, okay, literal coefficient or variable or numerical coefficient, okay, If they if the exponent is not indicated, there's no exponent, you don't see any exponent, it is actually 1. So 4 raised to 1, that is 4 raised to 1. Okay, so let me write it this way. This will become 4 raised to 1 times 2, and then we have a raised to 3 times 2. Okay, so what is 1 times 2? This is 4 squared. Yeah, so we have 3 times 2, we have a raised to 6. So what is 4 squared? 4 times 4, this becomes 16 a to the 6. This one is 16 a to the 6. If there's no exponent, even for numerical, even for literal coefficient or variables, that is already 1. Okay? Ayan, pag hindi indicated, no, kung anong exponent niya, that is 1. Okay? Next one. The last one, division. So division, we have 2 cube square, 2 cube divided by the quantity, by the way. The quantity of, this one is the last one, no? Ay, hindi pa. We have 0 pa. Next, the quantity of 2 cube all over by 3 squared, okay, raised to 2. Okay? So, sabing ganon, kailangan daw nating i-distribute. So, let us distribute. Okay? 2 times 3, this is 6. 2 times 2, this is 4. So, what do we have? 2 raised to 6 is 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2, 16 times 2, 32 times 2, we have 64. Okay. So, this one, ayan, pakita natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is 64. How about this one? 3 raised to 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Yeah, kanina, no? We have 81. So, 64 over 81. Okay? Okay. So, next. The definition of zero exponent. Okay? This only means that any number, okay, raised to a non-negative exponent and any non-zero base raised to a non-negative exponent, okay, is equal to the reciprocal of the base raised to the positive exponent. Okay? So, any number raised to 0, ayan, will be equal to 1. Okay? Number raised to 0 equal to 1, such that the base itself is equal to 0. Let's say we have 3a, b, c, d, e, f, and so on, raised to 0. Okay? This is equal to 1. Another one. 2xy over 3x squared y plus 2 raised to 0 is equal to 1. Any expression raised to that 0 is 1. Okay? So let me have here 2 raised to 0. This one is equal to 1. Okay, negative 2 raised to 0. This whole expression kasama ang negative is equal to 0. This raised to 0 will be equal to 1. Now, why is this negative 1? Okay, why? Because only the 2 is raised to 0. So, not included yung negative. Not unless this one, this part, okay, this part, the negative is included. If it's not included, only 2 is raised to 0. Therefore, negative 2 raised to 0, this becomes 1. So, 1 times, negative times 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Okay? The last one, we have the definition of negative exponent. So, from the definition of negative exponent, we have a raised to negative m, which is equal to 1 over a. Okay. I think yung definition na nasa book ay nasa module ay nagkapalit. Ito yung definition nito. Ito definition nito. Ito yung sa kabila eh. Ito dito. Ayan, as definition yan. Siya yung dapat. Okay? Ito yung sa 0. Ayan. Any number raised to 0 is always equal to 1. So, ito yung reciprocal. Okay? Basahin ko na lang A non-zero base raised to a negative exponent is equal to the reciprocal. So, if we have a negative exponent, let's just focus, okay, sa negative exponent, a raised to negative m, okay, it is equal to its reciprocal. Okay? So, 1 over a, or simply 1 over m, okay, where a is not equal to 0. Okay? So, let me have an example. Let me explain the example here. This will be the last for this topic. Okay, so we have 2 raised to any number, 2 raised to negative 1. Okay, yan, naging 1 over 2. Okay, which is actually, in actuality, okay, paano naging reciprocal yun? Okay, ito yung kanyang exponent 1. Okay, so, ang ginagawa ko para madali ko matandaan, no? Okay? Reciprocal kasi yan, ayan. 2 raised to negative 1, okay? Over 1. So, ang kanyang negative reciprocal is negative 1 half. Okay? Ayan. Negative 1 over 2 raised to 1. Now, as you can see, yan. Ito, saka ito. Okay? Pag ito, inakyat niya doon, napunta sa numerator, nagiging negative siya. Okay? Pag ito naman, ibinaba niya dito, magiging positive siya. Same with, example, same with, let's say, I have 2 here over 1, and then I have 1 over 2 raised to negative 1. Okay? So, nagkapalit. Kung titignan niyo, no? Ayan. Nagkapalit. This one is 1. Ayan. Okay? So, ito, pag negative to, para maging positive, ilalagay mo lang sa numerator. Okay? Now, according to the standard form, ng mga numbers, kailangan no negative exponent. Okay? Simplified form, no? Simplified form. Okay? So, simplifying algebraic expressions. In simplifying algebraic expressions, there should be no negative exponent. Okay? Now, to eliminate the negative exponent, it's either, if it is in the numerator, put it in the denominator. If it is in the denominator, put it in the numerator. Okay? Okay, so let me explain it this way, no? So, for instance, we have 2 raised to 4. 2 raised to 4 means you're going to multiply 2 4 times to itself. Okay? So, which is 16. Now, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Now, we're actually we're actually multiplying it 4 times to itself. Now, if I'm going to write it this way, yan. Okay? So, you're actually, since it is multiplied to itself 4 times, you're actually adding 2, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So that the answer will be 2 raised to 4. Okay? Now, what if we have 2 raised to negative number? Let's say negative 4. 2 raised to negative 4. So, here, we're actually multiplying. Okay? But this one, we're actually doing the opposite of multiplying. Now, the opposite of multiplying is what? The opposite of multiplying is dividing. Okay? So, if we have that one, we're actually dividing it to the opposite of 2. The opposite of 2 is 1 half. Okay? Dividing to 2 is actually multiplying by 1 half. Ayan. Actually multiplying by 1 half. This is what it means. Okay? So, actually, we have 2 raised to negative 4 equal to 1 over 2 raised to positive 4. Okay? So, naintindihan ba? Now, anong use niyan, no? Now, anong use? For instance, okay, ayan yung pinakita niya, no? 5a raised to negative 2. Okay, this law states that, okay, in order to simplify this and not to have any negative exponent, you're going to have 5 times, okay, this one kasama ang base, okay, ilalagay mo na lang saan? Sa baba. So this becomes a squared, no? 5 over a squared. So that way you have eliminated the negative number. Let me have another example. Let's say x squared y raised to negative 3 z cubed. Okay? So let us simplify that algebraic expression. So ano mangyayari? So ang matitira lang sa numerator si x squared at saka si z cubed. Tapos bababa si y cubed. Okay? And then positive na siya. Because of this law. Okay? So hindi lang siya para dito, paano naman kung nasa baba siya at negative din siya. So for instance, let's say a cube b squared over c raised to negative 3 d squared. Okay? So in order to eliminate the negative, what will happen? We have a cube b squared c cube all over by d squared. Sir, bakit natira pa rin din si d squared? Kasi hindi siya negative. So you don't need to put it to the numerator. Okay? In order to simplify it. Okay. So that is one way of doing it. Okay? Yan. Okay, so we have the 6 laws of exponent. The 6th law of exponents indicates that the product law, we have the product law, the quotient law, the power of a power, the power of a product or the quotient, power of the product or the quotient, the definition of zero exponent, and the definition of a negative exponent. Let's have yung tinatawag nating exercises. Activity number 2. March to column A with its answer in column B to know the name of Archimedes' father. Who is Archimedes' father? Sino ba yung tatay ni Archimedes? So put the letter of the correct answer in the space provided. I am the father of Archimedes. So this one. Do you know my name? Find it out by decoding the hidden message below. Okay, so let us decode the hidden message below. So by solving these algebraic expressions, the 3x squared minus 6x minus 12 plus x squared plus x plus 3. So alin yan? 3x squared plus x squared, we have what we call 4x squared. So alin yun? 4x squared. Ayan, mga 4x squared. Okay, negative 6 plus x, we have negative 5. Alin yan dun? So we have this one dahil meron siyang ganun. So we have here p. Okay, how about 2x minus 3 times 2x plus 3? So 2x minus 3 times 2x plus 3. Okay, this one is the vertical method of multiplication of polynomials. Okay, para makita nyo lang, i-discuss natin to later. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 3 is negative 6x. Okay, how about this one? This is positive 6x. And then we have 3 times 3 is negative 9. So when you add up 4x squared minus 6x minus 6 is negative. So we have 4x squared minus 9. We have h. H here. Okay, how about this one? Minus. So 3x squared plus 2x minus 5 minus 2x squared minus x plus 5. So this becomes negative, positive, then negative by distributing the negative part. 3x squared minus 2x squared is x squared. So obviously, ito siya, no? So we have I. Meron bang ibang x squared dyan? O, wala naman na. So we're done with the 3. How about this one? 3x squared plus 4 plus 2x minus 9. So we have 3x squared, wala siyang kaparehas. 2x wala rin. So 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. So D. Okay. So ilan na lang? We're done with this. We're done with this. We're done with I. We're done with D. Okay. So 5. X plus 5 times x minus 2. Ayan. X plus 5 times x minus 2. X times x is x squared. This one is 5x. This one is negative 2x and then negative 10. So we have x squared plus 3x. Ayan. Meron na ba? Ayan. Ay. Plus 3x minus 10. Ayan. Ay ulit. Next one. Okay. 3x squared minus 5x plus 2x minus x squared plus 6. So 3x squared minus x squared, we have 2x squared. Alin dyan na may 2x squared? Ayan, mayroon na A. Okay, and the last one. Three x squared plus 2x x 2x squared. Ayan, tama tayo. Next, the last one, 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3. So we have this one. Ayan, pakita na natin. 4x squared. This one, 6x. Okay, and then this one, 6x, and then we have 9. So we have 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. So we have the answer. The father of Archimedes is Phidias. Okay, Phidias. Okay, let us continue. Okay, so that will be all for the first topic. Okay, thank you for watching this